Hey everyone, my name is Mitch Dyer. This is IGN Arena, episode number 17. This is our esports and MOBA podcast. Be sure to subscribe to us, youtube.com/IGN Arena. Joining me as always is James Faulkner.
Hi.
And Kyle O'Connor.
What up?
Gentlemen, I want to get right into it. Have you guys played Vainglory on iOS yet?
No, I have not.
I have played the tutorial.
All right. Okay, so you started.
Yeah.
So this is the iOS MOBA that was shown off during Apple's iPhone 6 conference, and I have a couple small problems with it that I want to talk about. It's good. It's definitely a good game, and you should find an iPad in the office or something and just play it, Kyle, because I know you're an Androidman.
Androidman.
But it's cool. It's very pretty. It's a one-lane MOBA with a jungle, and my biggest problem with Fates Forever, which was the last big iOS MOBA, was there was a jungle that was largely useless. There was no real reason to ever go into it. There was no reason to farm it. There was nothing to do in it. Vainglory has a very, very useful jungle. It's very much of the game is spent there, like half of it. It's all about jungle dominance. It's all about taking control of mines, which give you like better minions or more gold, and that stuff is hugely influential in winning. The problem becomes that matches are very one-sided. You get, one team dominating the jungle. They're just rolling over enemy turrets, and typically the team to lose the turret first is almost, in my experience, the team that always loses.
Oh my god, I'm dying.
You are. I can tell. I've been concerned. Just get it out of you, man. Well, I'll vamp. You just die over there. It's fine.
Hey, of course it happens, right? Of course.
Yeah.
It
As soon as I hit go, you're like, oh, everything's falling apart.
Just dying. Wow.
It's fine. The other problem is that there are, I think, 10 or 12 heroes in this game, which is, it's decent for an iOS game. You don't expect 100 heroes in something like this.
Where is the jungle located if there's only one? And
So it's a top lane,
And then
and then a bottom,
so bottom lane.
Yeah,
it almost looks like this.
it's like a U. It's like a giant half circle, and most of the map is the jungle. So you spend a lot of time there, and like League, you can hide in bushes, and you can plant. I don't know if they're wards or if they're mines. But you can plant a device that will, I'm pretty sure, reveals the location when an enemy steps on it. I just don't know if they take damage because I've never actually seen one go off.
Oh, okay.
But it has a very simple item tree. The shop is not super complex. It is much more like League than it is Dota. And
yeah, less activatables, more just like pure stats upgrades.
Yeah. And the thing is with that, the team who has control of the gold mine and the better minions will just steamroll the enemy team. You have no way to stop. There is a way, but odds are very high. It's a 3v3 MOBA that the other team of three is not going to be able to defend against stronger minions, a completely dominated jungle, and protect their lane.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because you assume if they have all those extra assets and resources, that the champions themselves on the other team are also better.
Yes, and the heroes are really good. I think the champs are awesome in this game, but there's just too few of them for each game to feel different, because if they have, I think, 10 or 12 and half of them are free, and weird, that's fine, we'll just grab the audio from the camera. Thanks, MacBook.
Yeah.
If half the champs are available for free, odds are that most people playing the game are going to be playing those champs. So you don't have a ton of variety in the game at once, and that's kind of disappointing. I don't want to rail on it too hard, because I do think it's a cool game and you should totally play it. But what do you make of it based on the tutorial?
Yeah, I mean, I played the gunslinger guy. He's he's kind of like the drunken
he's shirtless too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
When he recalls, he starts drinking and stuff like that. I found it a little bit sluggish.
It's very slow, yeah. Characters, I mean, you don't have a ton of space to work with, right?
Yeah.
So you have characters that walk very slowly.
Yeah. And,
you can get boots that make you much faster, though.
Sure, but I always felt like it was interesting, because it felt accurate. I felt like I could last hit fairly accurately.
The last hitting is really satisfying, too. Yeah. Gold explodes out of these minions, and they fall over all nice. It's great.
I'm interested to see where they go. Again, we've talked about it a billion times. MOBAs are a continuing product.
Yeah, and this will grow over time, certainly.
Yeah, and we'll see where the patches are, how they patch it in the next couple weeks.
Yeah. Brian Albert, who's obviously missing from the show today, is doing the review. We'll talk more with him once that review goes live, and once we've all spent more time playing it. It's 3v3, so we'll pass an iPad around so Kyle can play, and
I would like to. Yeah.
We can all check it out. We'll have more detailed thoughts, but I did want to get just a quick couple thoughts out.
I have my iPad with me. I'll give it to you.
Oh, cool.
Like to give it a
Awesome.
try.
Yeah, install that. Let's totally get going on that. James.
There's two other topics today.
First, I want you to blaze through this next topic.
I can't even describe. All right, so yeah, leagues.
You're just not even gonna try.
Yeah, leagues of 4.20, aka the 420 patch came out. You should go read the patch notes.
It's very good.
They're excellent.
Tremendous patch notes.
Tremendous patch notes.
Really high caliber.
That joke was dubious.
I just bowled you guys over.
That was an audio joke. So
People on some getting tired of this.
It's a joint effort, guys.
God, we are children. James, proceed. You deserve that.
No, this is bad.
Hit us.
Was that harsh?
That was pretty harsh. Yeah, it's burning. Really.
So this patch is actually really, really large. So this is their preseason. We talked about they're experimenting right now. So they implemented some new Summoner's Rift last week. I think it is now entirely through every single mode. You're just giving me smiles. Like
I'm just waiting for it, man.
There is no more jokes.
I'm not even listening to what you're saying. I'm just like, when is it coming?
So they implemented the new Summoner's Rift style. It's like gorgeous, and
it runs better than the previous one.
I'm getting like
weird to me.
Like my PC is okay, but I'm like it's running like at a much higher frame rate than it was before.
I'm sure it's got to be like they figured the engine out in a better way. Like
or they just reduced
optimizing perforence and all these things.
So I think they've talked about this in some like dev interviews, and I talked to our friend Anthony, ign-arena about they're just rendering less sides of things. They're not rendering as much geometry. And so that just helps with performance a little bit.
Awesome.
There's like I think like painted stuff or the way that it works. Like he described it, I can't exactly say how it works, but it runs better.
Magic.
Yep. Like most things.
Various sorceries.
Yeah.
So yeah, this includes the new smite mechanics we talked about last week.
I didn't even check those out.
So it's like the ganking.
Oh, this is the jungle stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's partially jungle stuff, and then there's also
last week he says, like we recorded last week.
God, yeah, it's like a month ago.
Oh,
I apologize.
Sorry, Leah.
Yeah, it's been. It's the busy time of the year at IGN.
Yeah.
So we talked about the jungle changes, so I won't go over those again. Stats per level have changed.
Okay.
So they're basically changing the amount of stats. So like I think you get less stats reading it. Yeah. You get less stats earlier on, and then it increases as the levels go up. You'll get more and more stats.
Huh. Okay. So this is very much like you're still kind of garbage in the early game and building up like way more toward like very powerful late game heroes.
Yeah, because so like before, like I'm reading it here. I have patch notes right here. It's stats gained are no longer linear, so it's not the same stats gain across the entire game. It is now a arc up.
Huh. Okay.
So like level 1 gain 0% of your growth statistics. All your base stats will be calculated off of this. Level 2 gains 72% of your growth statistics, and so I think each character has their own growth statistics.
So it's more gradual than it is rapid.
Yeah, and then by the end of the game, you're all just monsters.
Excellent.
Your stats are all really high.
Yes. Yeah, and so like and the joke. God,
James just got that. He just caught up.
Looking at me like he kind of hated me for it.
And then so at level 18th, you will have gained 17,000% of your growth statistics. So,
wow.
And then this is slightly higher, so everyone will have slightly more.
Slightly what? Just throwing him off left and right.
Man, I love it.
They changed the mana regen on a lot of champions. I think people got more. And then they just list off a bunch of people who went from base 6 and then have a base mana regen of like 6, and then they added like a slightly more to it's like 0.8 to a lot of those champs.
Okay.
Callista is out.
Okay. That was I'm like, all this is very small stuff. What's the deal with Callista?
Yeah, Callista's out.
Okay.
She looks interesting. Obviously I want to play her before I make any decisions. But
Yeah.
Have you seen the wombo combos?
No.
So we talked about a couple but we didn't actually. There's a lot of things that people didn't know that you can throw channeled abilities. So think Fiddlestick's ult. Think Galio's ult.
Oh.
I think there's one other crazy.
So
one.
they can pop it and then you can throw them.
Yeah, I think people were running some tests to see exactly like when you needed to pick them up.
Tiny can't do that, right? That will interrupt the channel in Dota. Like as a Sand King, if I start channeling and he throws me.
I think you can. I think it's after the channel you can throw him.
Yeah, but if he does it during the channel, it'll interrupt.
I think you'll interrupt
Wow.
the channel.
Okay, that's huge.
So I think that this is what I remember reading this morning. Again, this is I haven't seen footage of it, but again, this is all testing stages. Things may change because it is pre-season. So
Yeah,
again,
getting a fiddlesticks thrown at you would suck.
Yeah.
it's like again, but then remember you can only bind one person per match. So like if you're
Oh, so it has to. Okay.
You
So you
can't-
can't just throw anybody.
you can't throw anyone.
Ah.
We talked about you have to get the
Yeah,
give them
yeah.
this item and they're sold.
I just totally forgotten. Interesting.
If the camera is picking up the audio, why are we speaking into the mics?
No, it's going.
It's coming through the mics into the camera.
It goes out to the board.
Okay.
That's why that mic
Sorry,
cable's up
completely derailed it. But yeah, Callista looks awesome. And then right as before we got in here, I checked out that trailer they played, which was pretty.
It's really cool. Very
really
pretty.
cool.
Surprise, right? Made a
Yes.
beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they're slightly tweaking a lot of characters. Scions, Sona, Gnar, Rammus got some patch notes, which is great.
My man.
Yeah, he got slightly nerfed, but
Yeah.
I think again, this is all. Hey, we're testing things out because we feel he would have been too strong with the new items.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things is the new texture rebalances. Because of the new map, people were looking out of place. Amumu, Caitlyn, Ezreal, Fizz, Gragas, Jax, Kog'Maw, just like the list goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
People who got changed.
Maokai?
Maokai. Oh, Maokai, yeah.
Yeah, Maokai got a huge update.
He got a new rig, like so a new animation rig, so he has a new little swagger walk.
Yeah, he like
great.
waddles. That's pretty
Um,
awesome.
Fountain regeneration, death timers. Again, I would recommend. We're not going to go through everything.
No,
just 'cause
yeah,
there's
it'd be
honestly
too
way too
boring to
much.
read.
And again, these things are all subject to change.
And they all came out this morning.
Yeah, they all came out this morning.
Why don't you have it memorized?
Yeah, James. Get it together.
Look, I was dealing with my SoCal. It's server stuff. It was super fun this
I don't want
morning.
your excuses.
Yeah. There's new dragon rewards. Every time you kill the dragon, you get a stacking bonus.
To what?
To gold?
Gold?
No, it's gold plus. I mean, for one stack, it's plus 8% total attack damage and ability power. Second stack is plus
8%?
8%.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so there's
So wait, does this stack every time you kill him?
yeah every time. you
Holy
kill it.
Christ.
Yeah, so it like that's
Okay.
why dragon fights are gonna be nuts.
Really
Yeah.
crucial.
Now
too.
he's like as valuable as Baron, as opposed to like this
yeah,
secondary.
And later in the game,
Yeah.
even more so.
Big
maybe.
time.
Yeah, so
Level 20 heroes hitting that dude for 8%.
Ooh.
I'll give it to Baron in a second, but second stack is 15% damage.
Do you want some water?
Man, yeah, please. I'm dying. Thank
Please
you.
stop
The
dying on this
third
show.
stack is 5% movement speed. Fourth stack is 15% damage to
I
turrets
waterfalled it.
That's all right.
to turrets and buildings, and then the last one, which is at 5 stacks, is repeatable. Is doubles all other bonuses, and your attacks burn enemies for 150 true damage over 5 seconds, and that lasts for 180 seconds. So basically, at a certain point in the game, you want to keep killing. It's like you can choose between
For 3 minutes, you
Yeah.
get this big bonus.
and say they're like, oh man, we know that they're gonna get Baron, but you know Dragon's up, and you got some early Dragons.
That's like now a worthwhile
Yeah,
trade.
you should definitely still go for Dragon because it's not no longer just gold. It's hey, we can get extra damage.
And it stacks. Is there a limit to the stack on it?
At 5 stacks, it becomes repeatable. So it's that 5th stack is just you do that over and over and
The
over.
odds of taking more than 5 dragons in one game is pretty low,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think like now, like sometimes,
especially in a pub game.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm real. All these like for the pro stuff, I'm going to be really interested.
Yeah.
Because the timing. I mean, timings won't change all that much, but
Sure.
it will become a lot more like your top laner's teleport skill will become like they absolutely need to be there to secure that dragon.
When does season 5 start? Do we know?
They have to do expansion because they're adding 2 new teams. I think they're expanding LCS. The number of teams per region.
Okay.
So that is coming up soon. I don't know the exact dates. But then I think it'll be a couple months.
Okay.
Just throwing it out there. I'm going to the IEM, the Intel Extreme.
Oh, in San
Masters
Jose?
in San
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tho-
Got tickets.
That's
Floor
just
tickets.
some Dota stuff going on
Yep.
there.
I got
thought it was just League of
invited,
Warcraft.
but I don't know if I can make it. When is it?
December 5th
Just
and 6th.
5th and 6th. Oh, that's PlayStation Experience weekend.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
I can't
Yeah,
go as
that's
well.
Is
why I
that
can't
that's
do
being
it.
streamed, right?
I think so.
Yes, yeah, well, yeah.
Okay.
I would assume so.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
There's a bunch of other stuff. I'm not going to go through it because some of the stuff. was
Yeah, I
covered
mean,
and-
check out the patch notes. We'll put a link to it in the story for the podcast. If you check IGN Arena, IGN 4, this episode of IGN Arena, we'll have it all there, and you can check out like the full detailed patch notes.
yeah, there's some cool stuff. I'm very, very excited.
Excellent. I'm also excited because Dota is getting a major update, presumably this week. Maybe by the time you're hearing this, it's already live. But the Foreseer's contract is coming to Dota 2. We got a bit of an update on when that's going down. And how does the phone work? There we go. So, James, tell me more about Oracle. What do you know about Oracle?
I've heard, I've seen her character model.
Is it her?
Her. It looks kind of
There.
It's like a space alien, like an androgynous alien looking fellow ?
I honestly I have not seen. I've seen the patch notes which we have up on the screen over there, but that's about it.
So Oracle guaranteed it has to be a support character, right? With the skills he has, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
carry.
it's like very movement driven kind of.
And it's a lot of stat effects, like casting a spell on Kyle to give him magic and vulnerability. Like if Kyle's an enemy, I can cast that on him to give you magic and vulnerability, which is like, oh, why would you do that? Oh, it's because you take 50% more physical damage.
Oh, okay.
And it's things like that. You can burn an ally or an enemy, and it will do damage to them, but then also start healing them over time.
Oh, man.
So on a teammate, it might be like, I'm going to damage you, but then you're going to start healing over time.
Are there any characters that have increased damage when they take damage?
And
Huskar.
yes.
So like say Huskar, like I'm gonna go.
Oh yeah, you could burn him, have him leap in,
Yeah.
start doing a ton of attacks. He also has a self heal, so he could like heal very quickly.
And regen it back.
Yeah, and presumably you would use that skill on an enemy to burn them down immediately, right? Like that'd be a last hit sort of thing.
Is the burn like an immediate like burn?
I think it's instant
like,
damage and gradual recovery.
Okay.
I think it's all text right now. We haven't really seen Oracle in action. I would assume that he's going to launch Friday, November 21st, tomorrow.
Is it? They usually patch on Fridays, right?
I think they usually patch on Fridays. They also said this update was this week, and we are quickly running out of this week.
Yes.
But there's some other major stuff coming in the Foreseer's contract update aside from Oracle, which is great. Like another new hero coming to Dota. It's a Dota 1 hero. If you go to ign.com, you can see Brian's helpful write-up about that. But we're getting a lot of the stuff we were promised from TI4. If you bought a compendium now, you're finally going to be able to have a bit of base customization. You can pick a hero and like create a stone monument to them in your base.
Oh, that's cool.
That I think is going to be. I think that will probably just replace a building, and it will be destructible. Like it will become a building that you would creeps will destroy. Or you can beat up for money.
Is it I forget what those things are called, like the jars in the base. What, you think it will replace one of those?
Yeah, like the weird structures that are just on the outside to occupy creep attention from towers.
Yeah, they give like a little bit of gold.
Yeah.
Wait, so there's extra buildings that creeps will attack in a base in Dota?
Yeah, and if you get the last hit on it, you get a ton of money. It's like 200 gold.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
Indeed. There's also new creep models. They now look more like the towers on the Radiant and Dire side. So they have like masks and stuff like that
Sounds like the Summoner Rift.
give them
update.
more. Yep. Yeah, it's giving them more unification to the world, kind of unifying the characters and the universe in an interesting way. There's a really convoluted new item I don't fully understand. That's like, I'm just gonna find it and read it because it's this weird language. That I don't fully understand.
There's new Arcanas for
Phantom Assassin.
Oh, so good.
And it's cool because the Arcana set itself is only tied to her weapon. So you can equip the Arcana set, which is typically like a $30 set, but also customize it individually. So you can like swap out the helmet if you don't like the helmet, because the set is tied to the weapon.
Will it still give like the particle effect, like it has like that glow?
The animations, the portrait, the particle effects are all there because it is still equipped. It is equipped to your weapon slot. And therefore, you can like swap out each piece after that. Really interesting.
I like that. I like that. That's a cool thing. It's like
Me too.
Hey, you bought this thing for the crazy particle effects, and you don't have to have every single piece you can have.
Yeah. And so this charm of the Defender's vision, I don't understand. I think it's maybe like a
read the description to us.
Oracle peers into the future. Do blah 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 blah. I'm not going to read this garbage. So if you're in an all-pick game and you use the charm, you will predict a victory. And that's already a thing you can do in Dota with a victory chant thing that you got if you bought a compendium.
It's in the bag.
This is a new one. It's separate. 3 correct victory predictions will transform your charm into a treasure of the Defender's vision. Make 2 incorrect predictions, and you'll receive a Charming Celebration action item instead, primed with 3 uses. I don't know what that means.
Primed with 3 uses, but does it tell you what the use is?
No. But if you get 3 and you get the charm of the Defender's vision...
Treasure. of the Defender's Vision.
Yes, but the charm of the Defender's Vision is only available for purchase during the Nemesis Assassin event, which they haven't actually announced. Like, that's the first mention of it. So presumably there is, with Oracle, an event upcoming. There will be you'll buy this item, you get, 3 games to turn that into a treasure. So if you win 3 games, you get a treasure, and if you incorrectly predict it, you get some trash.
Yeah, some
I think that's how it
lesser
works.
treasures. Because Valve's pretty good about we're not going to not give you anything, but we'll give you something of lesser value.
They say it's a celebration action item. I would assume that's going to be like a taunt.
So maybe at the end of the game, maybe it's like a dumb little dance or fireworks shoot out of your head.
Right, like some GG effect of some kind. Other stuff in the update. Is there other stuff? The heroic effigies. Your compendium gem is now finally an emoticon, which is super disappointing. Yeah. It's a t-shirt available. And there are some minor gameplay changes, the most notable of which is Broodmother and Phoenix are now enabled in Captain's Mode.
Ooh.
So that means everybody but Bloodseeker and Phantom Lancer and Earth Spirit, correct?
Yeah.
Are now in Captain's Mode.
What about...
Terrorblade's back in.
Terrorblade is back in.
Oh, yeah. How long has it been since you played Dota?
Probably a couple
Come
weeks.
on, James.
You guys don't seem too fired up about this patch. I guess the League of Legends one set it too
This
high.
is a very minor update. Just dang it, Kyle.
Just nuggets of wisdom.
Some other weird stuff is they made a bunch of audio changes. There's new audio effects for different items. So the Helm of the Dominator has a different effect. If I cast a Lincoln Sphere on you, then it will have a different sound. I don't know, minor geeky stuff. If you Dota audio is something I'm really, really into. Just the way things sound in that game is really notable and cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think it sounds super important. So that it's another cue to what's going on rather than the 15 other visual effects that are exploding on your screen.
Yeah.
There's also a new treasure with a bunch of new couriers, new sets for Clockwork and for Bananamancer, Timbersaw.
His helmet looks awesome.
Yeah. There's a Necrophos set that turns him into a weird dog monster. I don't know. It's cool. Not the most exciting update, but it's awesome that we're finally seeing a new character tying into some new event that's coming.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that it does not replace Frostivus. I still want Frostivus.
I honestly don't. If they're doing something this big right now and then talking about another event in those patch notes, I honestly don't think Frostivus is coming.
Yeah, they might do something in January because they said something was coming early next year. I just don't know what that will be.
Yeah, I mean,
They might do the Chinese New Year thing again.
I mean, they could just enable that map again, but I don't think they would.
I'm pretty sure that map is coming back. Is just turn it on anyway. I think all of those maps are coming back.
Oh, that'd be nice.
I think.
Do you think it'll be one of the environmental effects?
Yeah.
Have? All right.
Fine by me.
Would you guys buy map skins?
Dude, I would totally buy a map skin.
I would buy
the thing is, map skins are so many new assets. If
Yeah.
you're Valve or you're somebody in the community and you're reskinning an entire map, you don't sell that for $2 like
No.
you do an item.
Yeah.
That's a $10, $20, $30
Yeah.
proposition.
I'd price that for 20 because
I would buy it at 20.
I don't know.
I think I would.
That's a lot of money for something that just looks different. During
Spend more on
TI4,
skins.
they had 3 lighting effects.
environmental things.
So it's you might have the Moonbeam one, which has more pinks and purples, and I think it makes them. That's the best looking thing in Dota.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best Dota looks is when you have the Moonbeam thing on.
And then there's snow.
There's a snowy one where it's snow particle effects and the
And then
ground's
rain.
kind of wet, but it's those are not map overhauls in the same way that the Chinese New Year thing was there were lamps hanging everywhere and the lighting was completely different at every turn. There were new animals on the map and all
when
this stuff.
the crew spawned, it would shoot fireworks out of the base. It was awesome.
That's great. I did not see that. I still am so bummed out I never got to participate in that event at all.
It was pretty good.
Somehow I ended up with both of the couriers. So I think somebody just gifted me the Jade and the Crimson
Okay.
couriers. Yeah, so we'll have more on that probably next week after we get our hands on Dota and Brian is back to talk more extensively about Vainglory and Dota
It's gonna be
2.
a busy month. Sorry. We'll be
Yeah,
having
and
more.
I mean this is the first weekend I'm really gonna have time to finally breathe and just play some Dota.
It's so hard to play any games right now. There's so many good games out.
It's true. Also, Mockingjay is this weekend. I haven't seen Big Hero 6 or
Mockingjay,
Interstellar.
Big Hero, Interstellar, World of Warcraft expansion.
Oh my God.
Dragon Agent, because I played it. I've been playing
So
it.
I kind of want to shift over to Warcraft for just a second.
Okay, hit me.
That kind of counts as an esport if you count
Yeah.
arenas and battlegrounds.
Yeah.
This is the first time in a long time that WoW has interested me. Being
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I want like, and
You feeling that siren song?
Yes.
yeah, but
I kind of am too.
I logged on at midnight the other night. I'm like, what year is
What am I
this?
doing?
Why am I online?
And the crazy thing is, I started thinking about it in MOBA terms, where I started thinking about raiding and dungeons, and I'm like, well, it's kind of the same thing in terms of like everyone has their role, everyone has expectations. It's a time requirement.
Imagine that. WoW is a lot like Dota. A Warcraft thing is a lot like
it's
Dota.
very, but it was just like oh, this could scratch the same itch that League and Dota and maybe MOBA.
That's why I actually started playing League.
Mhm.
I was getting really, I don't even remember what season, but I was getting really frustrated with the balance issues in
Sure.
Arena. And I was like, well, I'm done. I'm done playing this game. And I literally just quit. And I was like, I need something competitive. And my friend was like, try out League of Legends. And then there we go.
So you played competitive stuff in WoW?
Yeah. Oh, I
Okay.
used to do arenas on, I mean, I wasn't like a 2,400 player, if you guys know the rating system, but there were several of my characters that were like 1850, 2,000 plus. So it's like, that was fun. That's where I got a lot of my like competitive gaming knowledge.
Okay.
And skills from.
Did that transfer effectively into League?
Just positioning
Okay.
and like, like, wombo combos or like
Yeah,
cooldown series. Like, okay, I'm gonna use this, and this in succession because
Okay,
it's gonna
cool.
get all the damage off.
Does Draenor have any of that you're interested in?
The PvP?
Yeah.
The season hasn't started yet, and I haven't hit max level cap.
Okay, so you're gonna wait till you like through the story and you get like all the new loot gear.
They did do a lot of balancing though. Big thing I was happy is they balanced the Cyclone, which is a Druid CC. It used to just be like when the only way you could get out of it was trinketing, and that's got a 2-minute cooldown. Now it can be dispelled by priests, invulnerability effects. It's also on the same diminishing returns as fear. I'm really happy about that because druids were really overpowered in arenas.
So the thing that will probably put me off from playing it is like you're on a server, like there's a bunch of people in the office who play, but I think everyone's on a different server now.
Yeah, but cross realms.
Wait, is this a thing now? So
Whoa, how
Yeah,
far
I think
back?
that,
How far
didn't that come
out?
back with like Pandaria or before that? Like Cataclysm.
I haven't played.
It was
for two-
Cataclysm.
I haven't played for 2 expansions.
Oh, okay. So Cross Realms is you can play. If I'm on my server and I invite you and Mitch and Brian to my group, you guys will then be temporarily transferred to my server and we can play together.
Dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, okay, I'm probably going to resubscribe.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my
Holy
God.
crap.
Yeah.
That was the worst thing, because I was like,
Yeah.
I played with a bunch of my high school friends, and then I met some people who were like, get on my server, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to pay for
So-
transferring my characters
This is
over.
my thing. That like, I haven't. When I played WoW, it was very briefly, and it was during like Burning Crusade era.
Oh, yeah.
I played
It's a good era.
a few hours of a couple characters and never really got anywhere. Not super into Warcraft lore. The time travel stuff in Draenor sounds weird. Like, is there anything for me there?
It's really fun. I mean, if you just like solid gameplay and like storytelling, it's really good.
Could this be somebody's first WoW?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I get
because
the
like
same,
the time travel stuff tells it like a totally new story, right?
Yeah, I get the same feeling as
Interesting.
I did when I was like first playing like vanilla WoW or Burning Crusade, like
Wow.
that whimsical, like, oh, this is amazing. It's really really good. I'm really liking it. I actually the other day I looked at all my game time played across all my max level.
Whoops.
characters. Yeah, it was like over 360 days.
A full year of your life.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And my paladin alone had like 180 days on him.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's intense.
It is intense. It was I felt really bad.
I don't know what it is about Draenor. Like when they announced it last year at BlizzCon, I was looking at it going like, yep, that sure looks like WoW. But as they started talking more and more about it, and I started talking to more people who really like WoW, the more it started to seem like something that meant something.
I can't put my finger on what it is.
I can't either, but everybody I know is playing it. I log on to Battle.net to play a game of Hearthstone, and it's like, everybody's playing WoW, nobody wants to play with you.
Yeah.
And like, I was here for when Pandaria launched, and I just didn't see as much of a response.
Nobody cared about Pandaria. And Pandaria
Yeah.
was great. Like, it
was a
reviewed
good-
really
a
well,
solid
and I
game.
think Anthony reviewed it, and like the people who played it loved it, and playing a Pandaren was awesome, but I don't know, I feel like there's more fanfare to this. And you also saw like a 2.5 million subscriber jump in the past couple months.
Yeah. It went from like 8 point something to like 10 million subscribers.
I think in October it was 7.8
Wow.
or something,
Wow.
and now it's over 10.
I don't know what it is. There's something about it. It's just making a lot more. They did a stat squish, so now you don't have ridiculous health. So it's like instead of like 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. I think some people were getting up to 700,000. Now it's like down to normal. You're only hitting for a couple thousand. Which makes so much sense. They just moved a decimal
Yeah.
order. It's really really good. I really like the garrison system.
That sounds awesome.
I wanted to bring that up.
I think
'cause-
that might be the thing where I'm
You
like,
guys
oh,
were
I,
like,
get,
"Ah!"
I get like some Sims-ish build your house stuff.
Yeah, and you can get followers from different stuff like achievements. Like Leroy Jenkins is a follower you can get. You can get like guys from quest rewards that then you can go assign them missions, and then they'll bring you stuff back.
Oh my God.
It's really,
And
really fun.
plus the Pokemon stuff, which is like the critter.
I never got into that.
Yeah,
I never got into it.
But it sounds great. It's like
It's
another
really fun.
layer.
There's enough stuff since I left where I'm like, oh, there's like 7 more systems that I could definitely get into.
I'm big into auction housing.
Yeah.
That was
Wow,
my thing. Like,
gaming system, huh?
yeah,
Making money.
Yeah. That was like so much fun. Like as soon as I hit 91, I had a whole bunch of gold left, and I just went and I asked in trade chat. I was like, "What's the hot mining mineral?" And they're like, "Oh, this." And I just went and bought them all out from the auction house.
Nice.
And gouged them and put it back on. That felt so bad.
So
but
if I start not having a WoW character at all,
Yeah.
like I think I had a Tauren hunter who was like level 8 at best. Do I
There's
start?
the 90 bump, right?
you
but-
can do if you want to do
So
that.
I know you can like buy your way to 90, which sounds awesome, but would I even understand the game at that point?
I think there's a they were talking about if you do it for the expansion, you get dropped right by the dark portal, and there's like an intro quest chain that introduces the characters to you.
Oh my god, that's really cool.
Yeah, I as a person who has a bunch of alts, like the bumping to, especially after I've got like a year game time play.
Yeah, you don't need to see it from start to finish.
No, yeah, I'm
from
cool
the
with
Alliance
paying
side, right?
$60 to get a level 90, and I pre-ordered the expansion and got a level 90 druid just for that. Yeah, yeah. When I was reading all the details, I just sat there, like, just held my head, like, oh my god. And as soon as the arenas start, I'm probably gonna take a break from League because WoW arenas are so fun, and same with rated battlegrounds.
This is a problem.
I want to see how much time we have left because we do have a little hard out. But there's one more thing I want to bring up.
I have like 10 minutes max.
Okay.
What do you got?
We need to talk about BlizzCon because I don't think we've talked about it since you got back.
We did not. What do you want to know? Overwatch.
Yeah, Overwatch.
Yeah.
Right. That thing.
I did the rewind theater on that. I was pretty.
So what do you make of it? Like I've played it. I want to know. Like let's back
You-
and
you
forth.
played it?
I've played a lot.
He
of
was at
Overwatch.
BlizzCon.
Well, you
Dude.
didn't tell me you played.
I haven't seen you.
What?
We haven't done this since
Oh my
before
god.
BlizzCon.
Okay, yeah. So if you guys couldn't tell about the way I talk about WoW, I'm a huge Blizzard fanboy. Like I love every game they've made. I've never been disappointed with it. The fact that this is their first foray into first-person shooters,
Yeah.
besides StarCraft Ghost,
Sure.
rest in peace. It makes me really hyped. Like I've loved Diablo, I've loved Hearthstone, I've loved StarCraft, I've loved WoW. Like everyone listening's probably like, yep.
Yep, of course.
So if you're telling me they're gonna make like a really cartoony Team Fortress style shooter, I'm gonna go nuts on it.
So what do you make of the characters and skills in the like as you watch you do the rewind theater, you see all these character videos coming in, the
Yeah.
website's live, it's got all their profiles. Like what do you make of this game?
Oh man, I watched that video and I watched the trailer and did the rewind of it, and it just seems like all these characters are so built around their abilities. Like the gorilla dude, he looked like his ult was some sort of
He just hulks out.
yeah, basically. And I just love characters that are built like that. Like Blizzard is amazing at character design, game design, and to see how all these characters are going to evolve and how fast they're going to put out other characters, I'm so hyped.
And the thing is, like, people were talking about, it's Team Fortress 2. And I was like, yeah, but Blizzard has never really been, like, the first to market on anything. They just,
But they do it better.
They do it better. Like, Hearthstone is the end-all, be-all.
Online trading card game.
Yeah,
basically.
everyone's like, "Oh, it's just Magic. I'm never playing Magic again."
Yeah, Team Fortress wasn't the first person to do a Twitch like arena style
Class-based
shooter.
thing,
Yeah,
no.
yeah,
But it
no.
did it amazing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
TF2 is amazing, and so is this, and they are in many ways different games.
This also blows my mind that it's Valve and Blizzard are these two companies competing in, like...
Back and forth,
Like,
back and forth.
A long while ago, you'd be like, no, like, they're doing separate things.
Yeah.
No, now they're doing, like, these weird, like, things that are kind of converging in the same territory and, like,
Yep.
competing with each other.
Yeah, it's interesting. And Overwatch is very much like, you think of like an action RTS, like the hero, right? Everything is about the hero and his skills, and Overwatch is absolutely that. Every hero has definitive, distinctive skills that are like, oh man, okay, I'm gonna play Widowmaker because her default gun is a machine gun, but if I zoom in, it becomes a sniper rifle, and kind of like TF2 Sniper, it builds up in power the longer you're in the scope.
Oh my god.
But her also like shift is it's basically everyone's navigation button. And for her, it's like, I'm going to look up, hit shift, and grapple up to that ledge, pull myself up. Now I'm in an amazing sniper perch.
That
I can
sounds
only
dope.
take so much. Man.
If there's a Bastion, he's the like giant robot that stops and turns into a mounted sentry gun. He's like questionably overpowered in a way that like,
He's the guy who looks like the Lich King.
no, he's just a robot.
There was like one robot looking dude, and his helm looks like the Lich King's.
That's
helm.
Reaper. He's like this. Oh wait, Is it just the guy with the mask?
Yeah, he's
the
got,
black
like, a
smoke.
Really, no. He's a robot. He looks like, I think he was like white or silver, and he had like a big hammer.
Oh, yeah. That guy. God, I can't remember his name. I knew all their names for a while, which was like kind of telling that I could remember their names and their skills and what they did. Like his skills are awesome. His shift, his navigation button thing is like, I'm gonna just charge at you with my hammer, and if I hit you, I'm gonna displace you, like the dude from Left 4 Dead. But 9 times out of 10, it's just gonna kill them.
Oh my god.
Yeah, these characters are awesome. I love them.
I'm so excited.
And they also did they're like, yo, it's a crazy, like, very non-Blizzard art style. It's like
It looks like a Pixar movie. Yeah.
Yeah, during the Rewind Theater, I was like, Blizzard needs to just bite the bullet and just make a movie.
Also with like the melodrama of StarCraft and Warcraft's like long lineage of like brutal lore, and Diablo being the dark gothic horror thing it is.
Yeah.
It's awesome to see them taking a lighthearted approach to something like this.
Yep.
So there's been a little bit of talk about this is kind of the remnants of Titan. Like,
well, it's supposed
sure,
to be.
yeah.
That's what I read
Yeah.
on IGN.
It's straight, this is like the way they explained it to me is we had all these different pieces of Titan, and this one was working. So
Yeah.
we killed Titan and we took the piece that was Overwatch and then made that the game.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's so cool because like it's not like a hey, we're making another game. It was like they literally were like, hey, here's the game.
Yeah.
It's playable.
Yeah. Here are 12 characters.
Yeah.
Beta in 2 months. See you then.
Oh my god.
Like next year's, I mean, between WoW and that Blizzard and Heroes of the Storm is now going
Heroes
in.
is awesome.
It's
Dude, I played the Lost Vikings in Heroes of the Storm. They're so good. They're so fun.
Oh my
They're
god.
kind of like Meepo, right?
A little bit, yeah. There's 3 of them, and you control them individually. And you kind of have to, because if you just like all-click and then send them into battle, Eric is going to get ahead of the rest of them because he's faster. And it's an interesting thing where like you send them in, Eric is faster, but he's ranged, so he'll stop and start attacking first. And probably by the time he's going to aggro a hero, the other guy will come in, and he's like the medium range guy, and he'll get a little closer, and he hits a little bit harder. There's an interesting balance there.
I haven't heard anything about him, so I'm gonna look into it.
Yeah, I wrote about them on IGN.com. You should go read my
I've
piece
never
on
heard
the
of
Lost
that site.
Vikings.
What's that about?
That's all right.
Egan.
I'll go check it
Egan,
out.
ign.com.
Oh, man.
IGN.com is a website where you can see all of our fine work. We all do very different things here, so go check out the website. It's a pretty good place.
It's cool.
Arena Podcast at ign.com.
That's our email address. You can get in touch with us. Send us your questions, comments, topic suggestions. We are open to all of it.
There's a Facebook group.
I don't know the URL for that, but
I
if you
think
go to facebook.com and you just search ign-arena-podcast,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, and there's people in there.
People are really talkative, really
L4G.
cool, really nice.
Looking for groups.
Yeah. Yep. They're looking for MOBA groups.
Yeah. Follow all of us on Twitter. Kyle is Kyle. James is James_Faulkner.
Correct.
And I am Mitchie D on Twitter. YouTube.com/IGN-arena. You can see all of our episodes, our breakout videos, trailers for upcoming MOBAs. And there's actually some cool stuff happening next week that we'll probably not get to talk about it because of Thanksgiving, but the week after that, we're going to have some cool stuff to talk about going on Arena. So keep an eye out for that. Are we done? Is that it?
I think so.
All right, let's get back into doing our jobs.
All right.
This was IGN Arena episode 17. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.